I was proud of myself for getting it out. I'm not sure if I agree with everything that I said 2 years ago. And I've shared it with several people, and I've had pretty good feedback on it. I like it. I have positive feelings about it.
Hey there, my name is Sean, and this is Suicide Noted. On this podcast, I talk with suicide attempt survivors and ideators so that we can hear their stories. Every year around the world, millions, many millions of people try to take their own lives, and we almost never talk about it. We certainly don't talk about it enough, and when we do talk about it, when we do engage with people in this kind of pain, or any kind of pain, we're not very good at it. Most of us actually are really bad at it. So one of my goals with this podcast is to have more conversations, and hopefully better conversations with survivors, in large part to help more people in more places hopefully feel a little less shitty and a little less alone. Now, if you are a suicide attempt survivor and you'd like to talk, I would love to talk with you. Please reach out. hello@suicidenoted.com. Our donation link is live, which means you can make a tax-deductible financial contribution to this podcast that is going primarily to the upcoming tour and documentary film. I'll share details about that very soon, specifically locations, venues, times, and all of that. I'm looking forward to it. Would love your support. And we are more active on social media of late, particularly YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So if you want to check those spaces out as well, follow us, like us, share us, do all that stuff. That also helps a lot. And remember, each episode on Spotify, there's a poll, a question. And I'm really curious to know how you feel or what you think about some of this stuff. So if you've got Spotify, if that's where you listen, check it out. Finally, we're talking about suicide on this podcast. My guests and I don't hold back. We keep it very real. So please take that into account before you listen or as you listen. But I do hope you listen because there's so much to learn. Today, I am talking with Charlotte. Again, this is an update episode. Charlotte lives in Maine, and she is a suicide attempt survivor. Charlotte.
Hello. How's it going?
That's a good question.
That was a long time pregnant pause, as they say.
Very pregnant pause. I like that your nails match your dress.
Thank you. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, I wouldn't have said it otherwise because I'm not a liar.
I appreciate that. They were purple before, and I think I liked that a little more.
Maybe I should just have a nail polish podcast.
Maybe you should.
Charlotte in Maine, but if anyone wants to know your episode, of course, even though when we talked, you were not in Maine.
No, I was a couple of weeks out from moving to Maine.
And I just, so it's episode 184, end of October 2023. Interestingly, we talked, you moved, and then some months later in the spring of 2024, we reconnected at a conference in Colorado. You gave a great presentation and I gave a presentation. That was interesting. That was a nice part of the country.
It was very beautiful. It was right near the Continental Divide with the mountains that looked like Lord of the Rings, and it was gorgeous.
And then we returned back to our lives, and now it's been more than a year. I just listened to the little blurb in your original episode, and you said something like, I don't think about it too often every day, or I don't think about it too much these days. And I realized if I had completed suicide, I wouldn't have been able to see another, was it a butterfly?
A hummingbird.
Hummingbird. Wow, your memory. And something about your cousins. And then I added that, no, not every day you feel like is a gift or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but that was basically it.
Yeah.
Time changes things, perhaps. I don't know.
I still don't think about it too often. A little more in the past few days, just because I knew I was going to be talking with you soon.
Ooh.
But that's fine. I haven't been upset about it.
We talked almost 2 years ago. At that point in your life, how many suicide attempts, or let's say even near attempts, however you want to define that, had you had?
Just one. And in September of 2024, I came pretty close again. I didn't have an attempt, but I was preparing for one. And I took myself to the hospital where I stayed for about 30 hours. And then
Okay.
after that, I went to a crisis stabilization center for 3 or 4 days.
Couple questions about the first one, and then we'll get more into update mode, which we already kind of have. How old are you now?
I'm 28,
So you were about 26 when we talked. When was the first attempt? How old were you?
19. So I'm coming up on 9 years.
No, you know the date?
Yeah,
Pills?
NyQuil.
Didn't work.
It would have. It would have. A doctor told me that, but my mom found me and she made me throw it all up.
Okay. When you moved to Maine, did you end up buying a parka?
Yeah, but the zipper broke and I got kind of a nondescript coat from LL Bean where I was working at the time.
Okay.
And I've since upgraded to a coat that is both warm and attractive.
Well, and let's just be really clear. I have no association, nor am I, with LL Bean. It just worked out that Charlotte worked there. Now, if it just happens that LL Bean's listening, Mr. and Ms. Bean, if you want to sponsor this podcast, we were always looking for people or organizations to support the cause. One of your employees was courageous enough to talk about what she's gone through and what she's going through.
Yeah, I worked there for a couple of months. It was pretty short-lived. It was very boring.
Yeah. So when you get up to Maine, that's a big change.
Yes, it was a very big change.
Basically, within a year of being there, you had that near attempt, if my math is correct.
Yeah, right about a year.
So tell me about that year. I mean, we're going to summarize, of course, but like, what's the transition like and what was going good and not so good that eventually
Um,
did lead you to that point?
my first year in Maine, there were some parts of it that were really good and some parts of it that were not. I had some pretty poor living situations. I was
Mm-hmm.
never unsafe, but had some real problems with one of my roommates.
Right.
She and I were just two people that were not destined to live together. She was a very poor communicator, but I no longer live with her and I'm much happier for it. After LL Bean, I started a job that I actually really love, and I've been there for about a year and a half and I still love it. It's a great environment. My coworkers are awesome. It satisfies my need for creativity. I'm a picture framer. So I get to make artistic decisions and see beautiful art all the time, which is great.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Not that I'm beautiful art, but there's a frame around me that you're seeing right now, right? It's a Zoom frame.
Hmm.
It's a square. Could be an actual piece of art.
Hmm.
Blurry background, middle-aged white guy with reading glasses on, a grayish stubble, all the works. Now you have options here. I mean, whether it's an E-frame or an actual frame, what would you do with the frame that you're looking at here with this guy in the middle?
I don't usually go for metal frames, but I think in this case, like a black metal frame would be kind of cool.
Not silver,
No.
black.
Hmm.
Why metal?
It's just maybe it's the sleeveless shirt.
Right, okay. All right. I would welcome that. I would never hang it up in my home. There are people that do that. They have a picture of themselves, and I'm not judging it. That's fine. I mean, usually if you're going to do it, it's like with your niece. You're with your parents. But just the solo shot, not my jam.
Nor mine.
Right. Are those tattoos that I see, are any of them new since we last spoke or saw?
Yeah, these ones are new, and I'm actually getting another one in a week. Since I've been up here, I've done my fingers,
Mm-hmm.
which are just like little, you probably can't even see them on the screen. They're like little black dots.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten the two chest tattoos. I got a tattoo of a corn dog. It says YOLO question mark. It's my hedonism / reincarnation tattoo.
I believe that's a talking point.
It's certainly pretty unique, I think.
All right, I want to get back to the tattoos. If you're again, a lot of them on the top part of Charlotte's body, like near the shoulders, are like floral-ish.
Hmm.
But the YOLO corn dog needs discussion in a little bit, I think.
Okay.
So, what leads you to this near attempt and few days in a couple different places, like in last year?
It had a lot to do with my roommate that I wasn't getting along with. I wanted to bring my dog up to Maine. He had been living with my sister in Virginia. She said no, which was confusing to me because we both paid the same amount of rent. And I explained very emphatically that he was an emotional support for me and I needed him. I like capital N needed him. And that's basically I moved out a couple of months after this all went down so that I could bring my dog up with me. And he joined me in December of 2024. So he's been with me for 9 months now again.
Okay. And when you're talking about this plan, you said you were planning.
Yes, I was in the pharmacy looking at a bottle of NyQuil.
That's your go-to.
I guess so.
Not tattoo worthy, I don't think.
A bottle of NyQuil?
People do weird shit. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean I've thought about like a tub of marshmallow fluff, but I think I'm gonna hold off on the NyQuil tattoo.
Yeah. And so you stay for a day in one place and then for a few days in another place.
Mhm.
But you called yourself in there. You said I need help.
Yeah, my framing shop is right next door to a grocery store, so that's where I was, and I realized my thought patterns were so disturbed. I went back into the shop and I told my coworker that I needed to go to the hospital. It's an extremely supportive environment. I ended up taking like 10 days off of work or something. Like if I'm having a bad mental health day, which occurs, then I can be gentle with myself, and it's a very good situation for me.
And did the stays in those two places afterwards help?
The hospital did not help. I don't think it ever does. It's like singularly uncomfortable. And the crisis center, I mean, I collected my thoughts. I kind of thought that there would be more like supportive programming, but it was kind of just a house with other people who were having a really bad time. It was pretty uncomfortable. And then I just had to get back to my life, which, as you know, we talked about this in my previous episode, is really hard.
Yeah, I always wonder how people just get back to life. Not that they usually have much of a choice. All right, so since then, it's been like several months. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, actually. I've been with my therapist, Helen, for about a year and a half, maybe a little bit more than that. Actually, she and I kind of didn't get along in the beginning, but we stuck it out, and I do really like her, and she's helped me a lot. We do a lot of parts work, which is also called internal family systems. It's been phenomenal. It's been really helpful. She told me she was proud of me recently because I've been dating the whole time that I've been up here. I used to more so than I do. I don't think I'm doing it now at all, but I used to like contort myself, change my personality to fit in with whoever it was that I was dating if I cared about them. There are plenty of people that I've dated that I haven't really cared about very much, but I've grown away from that. I'm just really being myself, and I'm seeing somebody right now who is different to anybody I've ever dated, and I feel
Hmm.
very comfortable and I feel very myself with him.
That's cool.
It is cool.
Shout out to Helen as well.
Yeah, big shout out to Helen. Helen's great.
Does she know about you ever appearing on this podcast now or then?
I don't think so.
I always wonder what therapists might say because I would imagine some of them would be like, hmm.
At the time that we recorded the first episode, I did tell my therapist about it and she thought it was fantastic.
I thought it was fantastic too.
Thank you. So did I.
All right, a couple things I want to know about the experience, not of speaking with me, but afterwards. Because I often speak with people. In your case, it's actually a little bit of a different situation or story, but I may never talk to them again. Or if I do, and it's like an update episode, 3 years might have gone by. If you recall, did you listen to your episode?
I've listened to it maybe 10 times.
Oh, okay. So what's your experience of listening to you speaking about yourself around this thing? And then, of course, me interjecting once in a while with my sleeveless shirt.
I was proud of myself for getting it out. I'm not sure if I agree with everything that I said 2 years ago. And I've shared it with several people and I've had pretty good feedback on it. I like it. I have positive feelings about it.
And you said mostly or pretty good feedback. So what do you even mean by feedback? Like them just saying congratulations or more specific?
No, people have thanked me for sharing it with them and said what a privilege it is for me to be open and let them into knowing that part of me.
I see. So these are people you know that may not have known certain things about you.
Hmm.
I guess sometimes it's easier to hear that, like hear you on a podcast than just talk about it. I could see that being easier sometimes.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think it is.
And I imagine you were probably quite selective with who you shared it with, because I do always wonder, like, did anybody do or say anything that felt weird or uncomfortable or shitty?
I think I've been conscious of who I've shared it with. No one has said anything that made me feel bad about it.
And you mentioned that like some things, when you listen back, did you say some things have changed or you don't necessarily agree with? Do you recall any of those things that are now different?
I think I stand by most of it. Yeah, nothing exactly comes to mind where I'm thinking like, "Oh my god, that was so cringy. Why did I say that?" I think it holds up pretty well in my mind.
Did we have a memoir title?
We had like 3.
We didn't settle on one?
No, one of them was Clumsy Goof.
Mm.
Um, one of
That's
them was Not Bad, Just Hard.
mm.
That I think was probably for me was the winner.
We don't remember the third one.
The Clink.
You know, when I hear things like this, I am reminded of my gift. I mean, in our case, I think it was very collaborative.
Mhm.
So I'm not taking all the credit, but
There
not.
was also another one, it was Aimless in Maine.
Ooh. So, but the winner right now, and we could add more if you want to, because I mean, you've got the corn dog,
Mhm.
but is Not Bad, Just Hard.
Yeah. As you know, my presentation at the conference in Colorado last year was about core values. I've given that process, or like I don't know what you want to call it, administered that process to probably 80 people by now. And everybody does it differently. No one ever does it the same. Every few months or so, I'll do it again. I
Right.
did it myself for the most previous time, maybe a week and a half ago. And so
Wow.
I've been thinking a lot about core values, and I've been thinking about the usefulness of suffering, which is really something to ponder. I do believe in the usefulness of suffering.
Please tell me more. Can you expound on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, this has to do with my theory of reincarnation,
Okay.
immortalized by my corn dog tattoo, as weird as that sounds. I believe that the struggles we have in life, our most core, basic, deepest, strongest struggles,
Hmm.
are lessons that we're learning. That's not news. I think that they're lessons we're learning for the next person who comes along. In that vein, the things that come easiest to us, the things that are most natural, the things that are, as you said, our gifts, were the struggles that someone before us had to learn so that we can have them easier.
That's cool. I like this idea.
Thank you.
So clearly, in my personal case, and for me, someone struggled very hard for a very, very long time in order to meet me to have the gift of the memoir title. And given how good I am at it, they probably struggled for a very, 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 very hard.
I mean, I think you know that your gift being simply memoir titles, I think that's kind of glib. I think you make a safe space for people to distill their feelings and thoughts about some of the darkest parts of their lives.
I do that as best I can on this podcast, not necessarily in my life.
I don't see what the difference is. This is
Oh, no.
part of your life.
Well, sure. What I'm saying is, and I think the two can absolutely coexist, is there are people in my life that if you were to be a fly on the wall and observe a conversation, you'd say, wow, that's not the person who is on the podcast.
Mhm.
And I don't think it's fake. I think there are different situations and different people and different intentions and different everything. So what are the two words you used to describe the corn dog?
Hedonism,
And
reincarnation.
we covered that a little bit. Tell me about the hedonism part.
I mean, a corn dog is not very good for you, but it's delicious.
Hell yeah.
I consistently in my top values is pleasure. The pursuit of pleasure is something that is very important to me and something that I dedicate myself to.
And corn dogs is the symbol for that.
Yes.
You can't get a good corn dog up in Maine, can you?
No. Every time I come back to North Carolina, I go straight to cookout. The first thing that I do, I'm always going to cookout.
Yeah, like you moved to a place that doesn't even have corn dogs.
Well, there is the food scene in Portland is incredible. It's a really great foodie city. And there is actually one barbecue restaurant that's like authentic Eastern North Carolina style barbecue,
Oh, wow.
which I like almost cried the first time when I had it because I thought it was something that I had given up. And then there it was waiting for me.
Wow. And is it possible that the tattoo was on your leg shortly after that?
Well, they don't have corn dogs, but they do have really good pulled pork and really good hush puppies.
So you are proving where you're from right now.
Yeah, yeah, I am.
But it was the corn dog.
She got the color perfect.
Okay, perfect.
I couldn't ask for better. I'm going back to her in what is it, like 5 days or something. She's going to be the same artist as my collarbones and the same artist as my corn dog. I really like her. She's fantastic. She's really good with like saturated color.
Someone sacrificed a lot for that.
I guess so. Yeah, somebody had no artistic talent, and then she
Right.
came along.
Well, I want to ask you, so 2 questions. I don't know if they're related. How often do you ideate these days?
Once every 3 months. Blessed is a weird word, but I'm doing all right, and I'm grateful for it.
What's the things, or at least one thing that you struggle with so that maybe someone else will have that gift in their next life or whatever, however we're framing that? You didn't see that one coming, did you?
No, I did, for sure.
Damn it.
I think that's a natural question to ask.
I want to surprise you.
I used to think it was self-love, and maybe that is what it is. I am very hard on myself. It might be self-love, and it might be overcoming paralysis to better myself.
But you are doing that.
I think I could do better.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Now, let's flip that. What's something that someone sacrificed for you that you currently have as a gift?
Someone spent their life learning how to express themselves with words so that I can do it very naturally.
Indeed, you can. Yeah, that's for sure.
Someone spent their life being shitty at Scrabble so I could be really good at it.
Do you have any new thoughts? Because you're clearly somebody who thinks, explores, ponders.
I do, yeah.
Right. So I always ask this question about myths or misconceptions. I'm gonna sort of that's the essential idea of this question, but it's really more around like, have your views around suicide or suicidality shifted or changed at all since we talked almost 2 years ago?
I would bet not. I don't know if you asked me so directly what my opinion on suicide is.
I may not have, so tell me, please.
I think it's deeply tragic. I don't think it's immoral, and I don't think it's weak
Mhm.
at all. I think it's sad. I'm getting a little emotional talking about it. I feel the suffering of others very
Mhm.
deeply. I know what that's like, and it hurts me that other people feel so deeply hopeless that they turn to suicide. I don't think it's cowardly at all.
I agree. I know from a conversation we had before we started recording that one of the challenges in your life, one of the hard things in your life of late is your relationship with one of your cousins, right?
She and I haven't spoken to each other for a couple of months, and I've been thinking about her a lot. I've been thinking about forgiveness, and I've been thinking about holding grudges,
Yeah.
and I've been thinking about blood is thicker than water. And I've been angry and confused. And there have been things that have happened that I want to tell her about, but I am relishing the break from the drama.
Well, one of the reasons I thought about that was I wonder how many people, anybody, but in this case, you obviously have to talk with about anything, including suicide, your own ideating, your own, even if you were to plan once again one day, even if you asked somebody to hold your hand while you did it. I mean, these are all sort of different threads, of course, but do you have people in your life who could handle that conversation?
Yes, one for sure, one for absolutely.
If you could go back to living in North Carolina, like if you knew then what you know now, would you still move up to Maine?
Yes, I think it was very good for me.
Because that's what you said back then. You think it'll be good for you.
I was right.
You're right. Good. That's cool. Pretty smart gal.
Thank you.
All women love being called gals, I'm told. They love that. I promise you won't hurt my feelings. Do you ever listen to the podcast other than your own episode once in a while?
Occasionally, when I worked at LL Bean, I was in the warehouse and I was listening to music and podcasts all the time. For a while there, I was listening every week.
I don't remember when I started asking the pink and purple pill question, but I do think I asked you that.
Hmm.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
And your answer was?
The question is whether I could take a pill and die in my sleep and no one would ever know it was suicide.
And no pain, right?
Is that correct?
That is correct. Without any pain, just go to sleep. Yeah.
I don't think I would choose that.
Do you remember what you said then?
I think it was the same.
Okay. You live in Portland or outside of it?
I live in Portland.
All right. So it's like a little urban area you can walk around?
Hmm.
Mm,
My dog is dreaming right now, so you might hear him bark.
I love it. We can only imagine what your dog is dreaming of.
Hmm.
What's your dog's name?
Bottom.
I'm not going there. I'm a curious guy, but nope.
My grandmother named him.
That makes it even weirder.
Yeah.
What else do you want to share? I'm curious about your life.
I'm very glad that I moved here. It wasn't easy, and the winters are hard to get through. That is for sure.
Yeah.
But the fall and summer, spring kind of sucks, honestly. Spring is probably my least favorite season here because everything down south is lush and green and in bloom, and it's still like raining and snowing.
Right.
The fall and the summer are blissful.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you can't imagine how lovely every day is. I'm very glad that I moved here and I've met some great people. I've made some good friends. It has been good for me.
If we talked in 2 more years, what's one thing in your life that might be different?
I would like to go back to school, but that's what I'm talking about with the paralysis.
Any idea what you would want to study?
Psychology.
Oh, bring it.
Do you have a therapist?
No,
Sean.
not everybody has a therapist.
Yeah, but come on.
Why? I don't have insurance right now. What do you want me to do?
Oh, that's tough. I hate it here. Jesus Christ.
Right.
That sucks, dude.
That part of it's my own doing, and I fucked something up with my taxes, so it's my fault. But one of the reasons I fucked it up is because I need help. See how the circle goes? The swirly circle? So I'm not pointing any fingers, but you're right. We don't necessarily make it easy here. Like if it was just nationalized, there's the downside to that. But the way in which you admonish me with your tone, woo!
I think everybody should be in therapy, but I know you are a very deeply thinking person.
Not as much as you think.
I don't know, Sean. I think in my unprofessional opinion, I think therapy would be good for you.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I only have a couple more questions. So what's the next tattoo or addition?
So in a week I'm getting apple tree branches around my elbows.
Has to be the elbow.
It's got to be.
So moved to Maine, ups and downs, living downtown on Restaurant Row, got a dog, got a guy you're vibing with pretty good, met some cool people, good connection with your therapist, getting tattoos. I'm sure I'm missing some stuff. Could be worse.
I think it could be a lot worse. I'm in a good spot right now, I think.
Well, thanks for talking again with me.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure. I was looking forward to it.
Me too. What's the rest of your day like before we go back to our lives?
It's a day off for me. I'm gonna eat some food after this. I'm very hungry. I just finished Love Island, so now I have nothing to do with my life. I'll figure something out.
Yeah, no doubt. Black metal frame, therapist, maybe a tattoo. That's on my list. Inspired by Charlotte. Hope to talk to you soon. I hope your day is decent. Thank you.
Thank you. Same to you, Sean.
Bye, Charlotte.
Bye.
As always, thanks so much for listening and all of your support. Special thanks to Charlotte up in Maine. Thank you for updating us on your life, Charlotte. If you are a suicide attempt survivor or ideator and you'd like to talk, I'd love to talk with you. Please reach out. hello@suicidenoted.com. You can learn more about this podcast at our website, suicidenoted.com. In the podcast description and the show notes, including our upcoming tour and ways you can support and sponsor the tour or this podcast in general. So I can continue doing this work and spend more time and dedicate more energy to helping more people in more places feel a little less shitty and a little less alone through these kinds of conversations and other ways we would like to expand this work around the world. Thank you, however you are involved or support. I really appreciate it. And that is all for this week's update episode. Stay strong. Do the best you can. I'll talk to you soon.